Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. This episode's all about planting blueberries. I'll go over all the basics, and I'm going to plant these plants right in this space. I'm building a edible garden, so to speak, so I'm trying to go really without decorative plants and going more with edible plants around my house for my landscape. You can pick up blueberries this size. These were from Walmart. They were $6. Good news is the cost of blueberries has been coming down over the years. So you can pick up this one for $11.95 at Home Depot. I really recommend spending the extra money and getting larger plants. They're nicely established, they're doing well. The plant in the back there, that's even bigger, that was $16. You can go up to different sizes and varieties and containers like this up to about $19. They used to be a lot more. Now, if it's not in your budget, that's okay. You can go with smaller plants, but if you do have the money, getting the larger plants really make a difference. Spacing wise, generally speaking, if you just want a standalone plant, you want to plant these about 4 to 6 feet apart. If you want to make a hedge, something more dense, you're going to want to do about 3 feet apart. The whole key to blueberries is that they love more acidic soil. It's usually more acidic than your typical garden soil. So we're going to dig the hole, amend the soil, the planting hole, with peat moss because that's more acidic. And then I'm also going to talk about more acidic water-soluble fertilizers. I'm not going to put a whole lot of organic fertilizers into the planting hole. We're going to do a lot of water-soluble feeding. But let me get started. Oh, one more thing. Sunlight. You want at least 6 hours of full sun, and this space will be perfect for that. So that covers really all the general basics for planting. So let's get to digging the holes and mixing in the peat moss and setting that up. So here's the basic planting hole. You want to go about twice the size of the container. You don't need to go down too deep. You could put in 1 or 2 handfuls of your favorite organic fertilizer if you want. I'm not going to do that. There's plenty of nutrients in here, and again, we're going to be putting water-soluble fertilizer on here over the season. Here is your bale of peat moss. It is more acidic, and you're going to take a shovelful, a spadeful. So that will be 1 in there. Of course, let's take the plant out. So you'll put in 2 or 3 shovelfuls right into the hole, and you're going to mix it up really well. Let's see if I can do this one hand. Consider that a full shovel. Number 2. And then you just want to take another shovelful and sprinkle it across the fill dirt. And that will help create the acidic environment that your blueberries like. Alright, I'm going to plant that. I'm just going to mix it all in, nothing complicated. Make it nice and loose around there. Drop the blueberry in, and you only want to plant it to right here. You don't want to go past this mark, so it's pretty much even to what it is here in the container. So here's the plant out of the container, and this is the root ball. You can just gently break up the sides just to break some of the roots. They'll get growing in directions out into your hole, and you're only going to go about that deep, and then you're just going to backfill it all in. So I'll do that with all the plants. We'll come back, we'll talk more about the acidic type water soluble fertilizers and what you can do to maintain the acidity for these plants and get them growing. So I just wanted to go over the planting hole again real quick. I don't want you to overstress about the amount of peat moss. It's not like it has to be an exact ratio or anything like that. You want a nice wide hole. This is probably 3 shovelfuls. The consistency can look like this. This is mostly peat moss. That's perfectly fine. Make sure you can wiggle your fingers down a good 6 inches. I've mixed the peat moss into the earth below that will be below the plant. You could use more, you could use a little bit less. Just sprinkle some across the top. And the whole idea is you're making a nice acidic environment around the root ball that's going in. This will help the plant grow, establish out here, and then the other amendments that we bring in over time will take care of the acidity around the blueberries. Okay, let's get back to planting. So I decided to go with the 4 blueberry plants that were in containers in this space. That's plenty. I'm going to put the other blueberries in different areas. It's really important when you're planting blueberries, you want to plant at least 2 different varieties in the same space or vicinity. This way they cross-pollinate, you get plumper, larger blueberries. You definitely want at least 2 different varieties. These are high bush blueberries, 2 different varieties. The ones right down the middle are the same, and then the ones on the end are the same. And across the way, behind the fruit trees over there, I have 5 other blueberry plants. Those are, I think, at least 2 different varieties over there. So to acidify your soil, not over acidify it, but to raise the pH, to lower the pH, raise the acidity, we're going to use this product from Espoma, and it's just a soil acidifier. It's basically sulfur. Just follow the instructions. It's like 1 tablespoon per 4 inches of container. I've already sprinkled it around the top of the soil. You can see it there. There's no nutrient value in that, but that's going to help bring the acidity up so that your blueberries thrive. You can also get a water soluble acidic fertilizer. That's usually a Miracle-Gro product. It's in a blue box. A lot of people don't like that company. Look for something similar. But you want to find a water-soluble fertilizer that raises acidity. And you just go ahead and water it in. So remember, make sure you have 2 varieties, 6 hours of sunlight. Use peat moss to bring up the acidity. You could put pine bark down on top of here, or any kind of mulch if you want. You're going to water, well, you're going to water these regularly if they need it, but you're going to feed them with the water-soluble fertilizer about every 60 to 90 days. You don't need to overdo it, just keep an eye on them. Hope you enjoyed the video. This gives you some ideas of how to plant blueberries in your yard. Please check out my seed shop at www.therustedgarden.com. Thanks for watching.